Hello, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast, the place where you grow your English and your confidence one episode at a time. I'm your host, Jason.
And I'm your co-host, Julia. We're so happy you're here with us today. Whether you're walking, working, or relaxing, thank you for spending time with us.
Today's topic is really special and powerful. It's something every English learner needs to hear. Mistakes make your English master.
Yes, a lot of learners feel shy, nervous, or even afraid to make mistakes. But what if we told you that mistakes are not your enemy, they're actually your best teacher?
In this episode, we'll share personal stories, common mistakes, and practical tips to help you stop being afraid and start learning with confidence.
We'll also talk about how to turn every mistake into a step forward. So if you've ever felt like giving up because you said the wrong word or forgot a rule, this episode is for you.
Grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let's grow together. Let's dive in. You know, Julia, when I first started learning Spanish, I made so many embarrassing mistakes. But one moment really stayed with me.
Oh no, what happened?
I was trying to say I'm excited in Spanish, and instead, I used a word that actually means I'm aroused.
Oh no, that must have been awkward.
It really was. I said it in front of my host family at dinner. Their eyes went wide, and I had no idea what I did wrong. Later, they explained it to me gently. I was so embarrassed, but guess what? I never forgot that word again.
Haha, that's such a great example. And I think many learners can relate to that, saying something totally different than what you meant. It's a common experience.
Exactly. That moment helped me learn more than any textbook could. It taught me the importance of context, word choice, and the power of being corrected.
Same here. When I was learning French, I used to say je suis plein to mean I'm full after eating, but it actually means I'm pregnant.
Haha, another classic one. These stories are funny now, but in the moment, they felt terrible. Still, we learned and we remember.
And that's the point. Mistakes are not failures. They're moments that stick with you and help you grow. That's why today's topic is so important.
So let's talk about why mistakes are actually good for learning. Most people think mistakes are something to be ashamed of, but in reality, they're proof that you're trying.
Yes, and when you're learning English or any language, there's no way to improve without making mistakes. Think about how babies learn to speak. Do they get everything perfect the first time?
Nope. They make hundreds of little mistakes every single day. And you know what? No one laughs at them or tells them to stop. Instead, they keep practicing, and that's how they grow.
Exactly. Mistakes show that your brain is working. You're testing new words, new grammar, new sounds, and each mistake is a sign that you're building new connections.
Right. If you're not making mistakes, it probably means you're staying in your comfort zone, only using the English you already know.
That's true. And when you stay safe, you stop growing. But when you push yourself and say something new, even if it's wrong, that's when real learning happens.
It's also important to remember that mistakes give you feedback. When someone corrects you, or when you notice an error, you become aware, and that awareness is powerful.
So if you're making mistakes, that's not failure. That's progress. You're learning through experience. And that's one of the best teachers in the world.
Yes, so don't be afraid to try, to mess up, and to laugh at yourself. That's how fluency is built, not by being perfect, but by being brave. All right, let's talk about some of the most common mistakes that beginner English learners make. And trust me, if you've made any of these, you're not alone.
Not at all. Everyone makes these mistakes at the beginning. Let's start with a classic one using the wrong verb tense. For example, saying, yesterday I go to the market.
Ah, yes. The correct sentence should be, yesterday I went to the market. This happens because many learners are still getting used to irregular verbs like go to went, eat to ate, see to saw.
Right. So a good tip is to make a list of common irregular verbs and practice them in different sentences.
Another common one using the wrong preposition, like I'm good in English, when it should be, I'm good at English.
Prepositions are tricky. At, in, onto, they can be confusing, but don't worry. With time and listening practice, they become easier.
Here's another one we hear a lot. He don't like coffee. That little word, don't should be, doesn't because we're talking about he, she, it. So the correct sentence is, he doesn't like coffee.
Yes, subject-verb agreement is super important in English. Another example, she have a car. It should be, she has a car.
Oh, and pronunciation mistakes, like saying vegetable as vegetable with all syllables when it's actually pronounced more like vegetable, only two clear sounds.
Yes, and comfortable is another one. It's not comfortable, it's more like comfortable. English cuts sounds sometimes, so listening to native speakers really helps.
Absolutely. One last common mistake I want to mention is using direct translation from your native language, like saying, I have 25 years, instead of I am 25 years old.
That's so true. Some languages say it that way, but English uses am is are for age. So instead of translating word by word, focus on learning phrases.
So to all our listeners, if you've made any of these mistakes, don't worry. We've all been there. What matters is that now you know and next time you'll get it right.
All right, Jason, it's time for one of my favorite parts of the podcast, Funny Mistake Stories. Because let's face it, learning English can be hilarious sometimes.
Totally. Mistakes can feel awkward in the moment, but later they become great stories. I've got one. So one of my students once said, I'm so boring in class. She meant to say she feels bored, but accidentally called herself boring.
Oh no, that's such a common one. Bored is how you feel. Boring is what makes others feel bored. Big difference.
Exactly. So instead of I'm boring in class, the correct sentence is I'm bored in class. We both laughed, and she never forgot the difference again.
I had a student once who wanted to say he liked watching cartoons, but he accidentally said I love watching Cotton every day.
Ha ha. I wonder what kind of shows those would be fluffy and soft.
Super soft shows, but again, it was a simple mix-up in pronunciation cartoon versus cotton, and once he laughed, he remembered the correct word easily.
Another one a learner told me, I cooked my husband last night. I was like, what? Are you okay? She meant to say, I cooked for my husband. Missing that one little word totally changed the meaning.
Oh my gosh, yes, prepositions matter. That's a big reason why we say don't be afraid to make mistakes, but do learn from them. And if you can laugh about it, even better.
Mistakes like these are unforgettable, and they often teach you faster than any grammar book can.
So laugh, learn, and keep going. Mistakes are memories waiting to be made.
Okay, Julia. We've talked about how mistakes are normal and even funny sometimes, but now let's get serious. How can learners actually learn from their mistakes?
Great question. The first step is simple: pay attention to your mistakes. When you say something wrong or someone corrects you, don't ignore it. Write it down, think about it, and practice the correct version.
Exactly. And that brings us to tip number 2. Keep a mistake journal. I always recommend this to my students. Every time you make a mistake, write what you said, what you should have said, why it was wrong.
Yes, and reviewing that journal just once a week can help you spot patterns. Maybe you keep mixing up verb tenses or pronunciation. Once you see it clearly, you can focus your practice.
Another helpful way is to repeat corrections out loud. Don't just hear the correction, say it yourself, multiple times. This helps build the correct sentence into your memory.
And here's a big one: ask questions when you're corrected. Don't just nod. Ask why something is wrong. That curiosity is what turns a mistake into a lesson.
Also, try self-correction. When you catch your own mistake while speaking, stop and fix it, even if it's mid-sentence. For example, he don't sorry, he doesn't like tea. That's great practice.
I love that. It shows you're aware, and that awareness is a huge part of language growth.
Finally, practice the corrected version in real sentences. Use the new word, the correct grammar, or pronunciation in different ways so it sticks in your brain.
Yes, don't just memorize corrections, use them. Make them part of your everyday English.
So, remember, friends don't run away from mistakes. Run toward them. They're like little teachers, pointing out the path to fluency.
Exactly. Learn it, say it, write it, and most of all, use it.
All right, everyone, if you're still with us, give yourself a big high five. You're learning, you're growing, and you're doing something amazing.
Yes, and now it's time for a little heart-to-heart. We know that learning English isn't easy. It takes time, effort, and yes, a lot of mistakes. But guess what? That's how growth happens.
Exactly. People often think that successful English speakers were just naturally good. But the truth is, they just didn't give up. They kept going, even when it felt hard or embarrassing.
They believed in what we call a growth mindset. That means you believe your skills can improve with time and practice. You're not stuck, you're still learning.
So when you make a mistake, instead of saying, "I'm bad at English," try saying, "I'm still learning English." Or even better, "I made a mistake," which means, "I'm improving."
That mindset changes everything. It helps you see challenges as opportunities. It helps you enjoy the journey instead of fearing it.
And remember, even native speakers make mistakes. Every day, we say the wrong word, forget grammar rules, or mispronounce something. So if we do it, it's okay if you do too.
Absolutely. You are doing something brave by learning a new language. You're opening doors, connecting with people, and building your future.
So the next time you make a mistake, smile. You're getting better. One small step at a time.
Keep going and don't stop. You've got this.
Okay, Julia, we've talked about the power of mistakes, how to learn from them, and how to stay motivated. Now, let's give our listeners some real, practical tips they can use when a mistake happens.
Yes, let's do it. Tip number 1. Don't panic. Pause and breathe. When you make a mistake, stay calm. Take a breath. It's okay. You don't need to feel embarrassed. Everyone makes them.
Tip number 2, laugh it off. Seriously, if it's a funny mistake, just laugh and move on. Laughing takes away the stress and helps you remember the correction better.
Tip number 3. Repeat the right sentence out loud. If you said something wrong, say the correct version immediately after. For example, I go to school yesterday, I went to school yesterday. That small correction builds your confidence.
Tip number 4, ask for help. If you're not sure why something was wrong, don't be afraid to ask your teacher, your friend, or even Google. Learning why helps you avoid the same mistake next time.
Tip number 5. Practice the corrected version in new situations. Use the new grammar or word in different sentences, like building a little habit in your brain.
Tip number 6, record yourself. When you speak English, record yourself and listen. You might notice mistakes that you didn't hear the first time. It's like giving yourself feedback.
And last but not least, celebrate your progress. Look back and see how far you've come. Maybe last month you didn't know how to say something, and now you do. That's growth.
Such great tips, Julia. Handling mistakes is a skill, and the more you practice it, the more fearless you become.
Exactly. So next time you make a mistake, don't stop. Just smile, fix it, and keep going. Now, before we wrap things up, we want to hear from you. Yes, you, our amazing listener.
That's right. We want to know, what's the funniest or most unforgettable English mistake you've ever made? Was it something that made people laugh? Or a mistake that helped you learn something new?
Drop your story in the comments if you're watching on YouTube, or send us a message on Instagram, TikTok, or wherever you follow us.
And here's a bonus challenge. Try saying this in the comments, "I'm proud of my mistakes," because they help me grow. Let's see how many of you will join this positivity wave.
We read every comment, and we might even share a few of your stories in a future episode with your permission, of course.
Learning together makes this journey so much more fun. So don't be shy. Tell us your mistake stories, and let's keep learning together.
Your voice matters, your journey matters, and we're here to support you every step of the way.
All right, friends, we've come to the end of today's episode, and I just want to say, mistakes are not the enemy. They're a part of the journey.
Exactly. Every mistake is a building block. It's an opportunity to grow and become more fluent. Remember, language learning is a process, and each mistake means you're one step closer to mastery.
So as you continue on your English learning journey, embrace your mistakes. Laugh at them, learn from them, and keep moving forward.
And most importantly, be kind to yourself. Don't let a mistake stop you. Use it as a chance to improve and keep practicing. You've got this.
We believe in you. We're here cheering you on every step of the way. If you enjoyed today's podcast, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who could use a little extra motivation.
Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on the English Learning Podcast. Keep making those mistakes and keep growing.